Hey, hello. I'm Protomagicalgirl. I'm one of the staff for Speedruns Rochester. That has nothing to do with why I got this run into the marathon, I think. Maybe. I don't think so. Anyways, this is Megaman 5. It's the 5th Megaman game. You ready on time? It's numpad 0.
I am good.
Alright, let's go in like 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is Megaman 5, 5th Mega Man game. We are going to start off with Starman here. A couple of reasons. First, this is my least favorite stage. Second, that doesn't matter because we need to do this stage first no matter what to get a wonderful weapon called the Super Arrow. What the Super Arrow does is something I'll get to when we get it. Safe to say, it's absolutely, completely, strictly necessary. There are no alternate routes for Mega Man 5. You need Super Arrow first. Ooh, I messed up. That's fine. So, this is a Mega Man game. We're going to be jumping, sliding, mashing, and charge shooting our way to Dr. Wily's doorstep. First, we're going to take out 8 Robot Masters. I just picked up the first Rockman letter there. We need to collect all 8 of those to get something that, once again, I'll just get to it when we get there. So we're playing on the Japanese version. No in-game differences. It's about 18 seconds faster for text from one specific cutscene later in the game. So, one thing, or a couple of things worth noting really, the physics of this game. You can jump out of slides, which is really useful. This isn't Mega Man 6. One thing worth noting is that your charge shot does not keep increasing its charge while you are sliding, so throughout the run I'm gonna have to kind of keep my head around that. Sometimes if it looks like I'm doing really sloppy sliding, that's just me making sure the buster is charging. So this is Starman. He has the star shield. I think it's called the Star Crash. Anyways, it's a really bad shield, so we can just shove our buster through it. That was Starman. For every boss, we're gonna want to be in the middle of the room when we finish, because then we get out of here as soon as possible. So, we have beaten Starman. We now have the Star Crash, which is a cool shield weapon. That doesn't matter at all. We're gonna use it exactly twice in this speed run. What we really wanted out of that was the Super Arrow. Now, the Super Arrow, as it implies, is a super arrow. It's not actually an arrow, though. It's a plunger. Anyways, it's a plunger that you can stick in the air and ride on and just fly across the screen with. And naturally, this is a speedrun, so flying across the screen is pretty good. Alright, so coming into Gravity Man's stage here, music owns, this stage's movement owns. I really like this stage, and it's a very, very pleasing sight to see after doing boring, annoying star stage. So here's the Super Arrow. We're just gonna neum. Get used to that, that's most of this game. Why would you walk when you can fly on a plunger? That was not good. So you may notice, wow, okay. You may notice that when I was on the Super Arrow, I was basically repeatedly sliding off the front. That's gonna reduce the ammo consumption of the Super Arrow. Because we wanna save ammo, we wanna use the Super Arrow as much as possible. The biggest weakness of the Super Arrow is how much ammo it takes up. But by doing those repeated slides, we can use it multiple times in a stage, which is great, because it's fast. There's Rockman letter number 2. We have the R. Just cool gravity platforming. The gravity platforming in this stage feels very good. I will say they really got it right. The one little tiny quirk with it is your movement's a little weird when you switch gravity while you're in the middle of a slide, so we're going to be trying to jump every time we cross it. Now that I've explained that, you're never going to see that mechanic again. This is Gravity Man. Okay, we got the extra hit there. Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed twice. Okay, he's dead. You just slam him into him for that last hit. Easy. Great. This is going well so far. These first couple stages aren't that bad, though. Things are going to start to get crazier now. We're going to get a lot of opportunities to do some really dumb super arrows. And just literally fly across this game. This is basically the Super Mario World of Mega Man games, except it's not actually bad. That's the difference. Alright, next up, speaking of flying, is Gyro Man, the helicopter robot master. I love this design. Here comes some comfy music. And we are greeted into this very, very exciting stage with what else but an auto-scroller. God, I hate auto-scrollers. They take so long, and they're so boring, and okay, it's over. So yeah, we're just gonna ride super arrows everywhere. Okay, I saved one here, that's cool. Oh, I missed, never mind. That's fine. Do that, and fly across here too. Now we're out of super arrow, so we have to actually play Mega Man, which sucks. I missed the charge shot there. This is first of many of these power muscler enemies. Actually, I think there was one in Gravity Stage that we flew over. All right, I die on this screen a lot because I'm terrible at video games, so let's see what happens. Hey, I didn't die. Nice. So there's letter number 3. Believe it or not, the letter count is going to be the same as the count of stages we've beat pretty much the entire run. So yeah, this is the screen that killed everyone as a child, but honestly, what you do is you just jump when the lowest spikes are about 1 spike length above the floor, and it's free. Nice backwards damage boost. That was totally intentional. Cool, now we're into Gyro Man. Saves 2 frames by holding left into the door there. You can do that on every boss. That was Gyro Man. Very hard fight. Area of effect weapons are great on bosses. And so now we have the Gyro Blade. A cool weapon, a very difficult weapon to use that hopefully you'll see in the next stage. Coming up is maybe, I don't want to say my least favorite stage in the run, but the stage I'm most afraid of in a marathon. If this goes bad, it goes really bad. So we'll see what happens. This is Crystal Man. Ba-da, ba-da. Music in this game owns. Hi, I should shoot the thing instead of shooting above and below the thing. Maybe. Got one of them. So far, so good. That's 1 out of 2 scary arrows. Just gotta nail one more thing, and then we're pretty much home free. All right, looking good. Here comes a fun thing. Just gonna squeeze through there. That's always a good time. Rush Jet in this game is pretty interesting. So basically how it works is Rush spawns a little bit above Mega Man's height. So with proper timing, you can basically just fire to trigger Rush and then jump, and you'll just land right on him. All right, so here comes the Gyro Blade. So the trick with the Gyro Blade is it starts out going horizontal and then goes vertically up or down based on your inputs. So the tricky fun with this is that I'm gonna have to be controlling the Gyro Blade while also controlling Mega Man. So that's a really good time. While I was talking about the Gyro Blade there, I picked up a thing with an M on it. That's an M-Tank, as the visuals might imply. An M-Tank restores all of your weapon energy and your health, so those are gonna be really useful in the castle stages where we don't have weapon refills, but we want more super arrow. So this is Crystal Man, gonna take intentional damage there in order to reduce lag. That was Crystal Man. All right, so that stage went really well. I'm very happy, because that stage is terrifying. Clap for that, thank you. Thank you. All right, cool. Now we're out of the first 4 Robot Masters. So things are gonna start to get a little more fun, a lot of more dynamic, varied movement. Heading into Napalm Man's stage now. Lots of fun stuff going on here, including getting this game banned in Vietnam. So remember how I said that the Buster doesn't charge while we're sliding? That's really important for this first screen here. I'm sliding and not sliding at some very specific spots in order to make sure I have the Buster charge, because those tigers are extremely difficult to kill without a fully charged Buster. Here comes a neat little skip. We're supposed to see 3 of these drill things. I didn't feel like dealing with the third one. If you go fast enough, you skip it. And then coming up is our first super arrow of this stage. Cool. Take a damage boost, and freaking helicopter Joes. Those enemies are super annoying. All right, second arrow here. This one is just chill. You just get on, ride. That was a menu. There's our letter. So one thing I should probably mention, and have been meaning to mention, haven't had a chance talking about other stuff. When you walk or jump off of a ledge, you fall faster than when you slide. So a lot of the times, if you're wondering why I'm not sliding at edges, that's why. If your goal, you know, kind of in your pathing of the stage is to make it down as fast as possible, it's advantageous to eat the time of not sliding in order to be falling at out of a jump speed. All right, so this is Napalm Man. As his name implies, he's gonna throw bombs and stuff. This fight is very fun. Whoa. Got him. Cool. Easy. Thank you, guest. All right, next up is Stone Man, because we're gonna blow up bombs with rocks. That makes sense. So, before we get there, I need all of you to shout out some numbers between 1 and 3. That number should be proportional to about how much faith you have in me to do well.
3, 4, a billion, 72, 420, 69.
All right, so we had mostly 3s, a lot of numbers larger than 3. I'm gonna try and meet those expectations. There's 3 Mets on this first screen. Handled that one. No, didn't get that one. And get the backwards damage boost, so that's 2 out of 3. That's okay, that's not bad. Music in this stage is super good. One other minor movement tech worth noting. When I get to the top of the ladder, when Megaman is kind of in the little crouch at the top of the ladder, I'm jumping. That's because you can jump there and you'll kind of exit the ladder and you'll be going up. But if you don't do that, you end up climbing the ladder for a little bit longer. 1 and 2, you actually stop moving for a few frames before you start walking again, so it's slower. Minor detail right there. In that last screen, before I climbed up the large ladder, you can't jump out of a slide right in front of a ladder. Very specifically, because this game is super well programmed. When you're behind clouds in front of a ladder or underwater, you can't jump out of slides. So a water stage basically becomes Mega Man 6. But that's not too bad, since my main Mega Man speed game is Mega Man 6, so I know all about not being able to jump out of slides. Gonna take it. Bleh. We tried to take advantage of Rush Jet there, just to get up some ladders a little bit faster. No big deal. Gonna do another little skip with Rush. Easy. Here's our buddy Eddie. Bye, Eddie. This weapon is great. Don't need to deal with anything on this screen. Cool, now we're on to Stone Man. Stone Man is gonna do a big jump right away and crush into the floor. We want him to only do that once. We never wanna see another big crush again. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy. Okay, that's fine. Wasn't the happiest stone. I'm gonna fire those 3 napalm bombs there for no reason at all, definitely not to prevent a glitch that could totally destroy this run. Once again, well-programmed game. Firing those 3 napalms does something weird to the code that affects super arrows. It prevents a thing called the arrow glitch from happening. Don't need to worry about explaining it because it's not gonna happen. All right, coming up next is Charge Man. Yes, this Robot Master is a train. Probably my favorite Robot Master design in this game, Tuftif Toget. Love him. Very good. Cool super arrows coming up here. So thanks to those napalm bombs we fired, we can now ride this super arrow without fear. Oh, that's a very good height for that arrow. You have a relatively small window vertically to place that second arrow there to make it through that kind of first gap. Cool. Coming up next is the animal room. In true Mega Man 5 tradition, you dedicate your animal room. I'd like to dedicate this animal room to Pidge for that incredible run.
Thank you.
That was real good and has me all pumped to play video games now, so...
I thought I finished underestimate despite not being able to super jump.
Wow, this is going very smoothly. Got that letter. That jump is impossible, so... Cool, we got the letter. We didn't actually get a lot of drops. The Met trains are the best enemy in this game. Anyone who tells you differently is probably the devil. Hey, nice. Once again, Buster charge right there. We want to make sure we start charging early enough there that we get our full charge by the time we need it. We want a damage boost off of the missile there, very specifically. The missile does 3 damage, the body of that big enemy does 6. All right, so now we're on to Charge Man, which means it's time to use the worst weapon in classic Mega Man, Power Stone. It's 3 stones that go out in a big circle. As you can imagine, it's completely useless. So we're gonna be pause canceling the Power Stones away in order to not have to deal with them. That was really good. You want to fire your last Power Stone there at the corner of the screen so they get off screen as fast as possible. We did that. Yay. All right, and now coming up, our last Robot Master, Wave Man. We are gonna get very, very comfy, and it's gonna be awesome. There's a trick in this stage that I'm gonna attempt once that's really dumb and saves like 10 seconds. I'll explain that when I get to it. We're gonna try it once. If we fail it, we lose a bunch of time. No big deal. It is what it is. So from Charge Man, we got a really cool weapon, in my humble opinion, the Charge Kick. Ow. That's not good. We want good health for this stage. The Charge Kick is awesome. It's a slide that does damage. Pressing the shoot button actually doesn't do anything right now. You actually do slide to activate this power. All right, so we're gonna attempt this one time. This is called Bubble Skip. We're not skipping a bubble. We're using a bubble to skip a bunch of other bubbles. Basically, we're gonna try and transition across the top of this screen earlier than the game wants us to. Oh, no! Okay, we didn't get it. That's okay. You want to basically land on the arrow you fire after the screen transition, and then you can jump up to that top platform. Didn't quite get there. That's fine. We tried. We made the screen transition, which is pretty good nonetheless. So we're gonna take it nice and slow. Enjoy this comfy music. And now, an auto-scroller. The sprite of Mega Man on the boat is super cool. That's all I really have to say about this auto-scroller. I'd like to get a couple health drops, because the upcoming boss, you know, weakness circle and all that, we want to be using the Charge Kick. And that's a melee weapon, which means we're going to have to basically be ramming into Wave Man, so we will be taking a lot of damage. I do have a safety E-Tank. I picked up one in Crystal Stage. If we have to use it, we have to use it. It's no big deal. I'd like to have it for later in the run, though. Not the best octopus. That's okay. Was pretty good. And now the second half of our auto-scroller here. Nothing too exciting worth noting, except we need to make sure the single worst mistake we can make in this entire run is in this very room. We do not want to miss the letter. Oh my god, if we miss the letter, this run is super dead. Like, dead. We'd have to do the entire auto-scroller again just to get a second chance at picking it up. Hey, we got it, cool. That's very good. I have never missed it in a run, which is very good. Okay, well, we don't have a lot of health. That's okay. I have an E-tank, as I said. Maybe this cannon will be generous and drop little. Let's see what happens. We have to be very careful there not to accidentally use our M-tank. If we do, we are super, super duper screwed. Because we need that later. Anyways, hey, that was 8 Robot Masters. That's like half of the game. You should be sorry. Alright, so we have completed 8 Robot Masters. We've collected the 8 letters that spell out Rockman 5. With like the number 5. It's 8 characters. And as our reward, Dr. Light built us a pet bird. So we have Beat now. Beat owns. We won't see Beat until stage 2 here. So the plot of this game involves my arch nemesis, Protomagicalgirl, attempting to take over the world. So now we're gonna go to Protomagicalgirl's castle and show her who's the real Protomagical here. Hint, it's me. So once again, gotta make sure we aren't sliding too much on that first screen. And another little rush jet skip. Pop. Cool. So we're gonna have to go through Proto's castle and defeat her Darkman minions until we can face off against the Protomagicalgirl herself and reclaim our dominance as the one true Protomagicalgirl. Oh, that is 100% canon. This game came out before I was born, but it's about me.
I think it came out before I was born too, and I'm pretty old.
Nice. Got that little backwards damage boost. Alright, so another rush jet, and here comes the really precise rush jet skip. Okay, we got it. It's not super precise, but you have to do it right. Those 2 enemies circling around you pretty much won't damage you if you ignore them. I feel like they're kind of trying to make you panic. So this is Darkman 1. It's a little tank. It's kind of adorable, honestly. And I am doing this rather poorly. That's okay, we're fine. Cool. So that's 1 dark stage down, 3 to go. And then we face Protomagicalgirl herself, who's the true villain of this game, obviously. No one else. Coming up, stage 2, we have some scary large pits, more tigers, and a stupid bird. So that whole you can't jump out of a slide when you're in front of a ladder thing is going to come into play here. Want to slide all the way to the wall and then jump. Then use Rush Jet to get up here. Switch back to Buster. We're going to use Buster for most of this stage. We use Buster for a lot of this game. The Buster in Mega Man 5 is very good. So this room is terrifying. Take a quick stop there. If you don't, you can end up picking up whatever that enemy I killed dropped. And that can totally throw off your momentum and kill you. Ow. Cool. Just enjoying this great music. Ow. Not a ton to say right here. Just moving, charge shotting, jumping, sliding, playing Mega Man. I love Mega Man. Real talk. I've been playing these games for almost my entire life, and they're just the best. Alright, so now we get to use Beat. Beat is great. Beat is going to do all of the work for us. So the trick with Beat is that Beat can only start another attack once Beat is at like that resting position behind Mega Man's shoulder and has 0 velocity. So we want to be moving around at pretty specific times in order to let Beat move when Beat wants to. We basically want to time it such that Beat is hitting bosses right when their iframes run out. Cool. Next up, Dark 3, probably the scariest stage in the game after Crystal. This one I have better backup strats for, but it's also harder. And if we can do it well, it's gonna look super cool. And I, a massive egotist, want that. Comes a little skip, doop. Hey, we got that. I missed that like twice in practice recently, which is just embarrassing. Because you have to switch to Rush Coil if you do. If you ever switch to Rush Coil in Mega Man 5, your run is awful and... Okay. Okay. I don't know.
What was that about your run is awful?
Okay, well, I guess we're doing that again. That's fine. It's no big deal. We have enough super arrow, so we're all right. The big concern when you die in this game, in the late game, is super arrow. But we have enough right now, so it's all right. Ow. All right, let's not do that.
Yeah, don't.
Cool, we didn't do that. I have to say, that's a way I've never lost a run before. That's new. Okay, we have exactly enough super arrows. No, we don't. Okay, well, this run sucks now. We have to use Rush Coil. That's fine, it happens. This game is hard. This is kind of slow. Got him. Easy. All right, we have more super arrow now. It's fine. Hopefully we don't heck up the next arrow, which is also a very large time save. Well, not this one, but the next, like, major arrow. Okay. So because I used the E-Tank I got in Crystal, I'm gonna pick up that one just so I have a spare. Cool, now we just face backwards. You can get right there, and backwards damage boost onto that platform. Coming up next, the third Dark Man, my least favorite Dark Castle boss. This guy is a huge jerk. We don't want to get hit by the SpaghettiOs. This is good. We want this. We don't want that. Gosh darn it. Okay, we're fine. We're through. That stage is hard. And now we've made it through the 3 stages. We have a little bit more dramatic tower climbing coming up, and then we get to face off against Protomagicalgirl herself. Pluff found that funny. So this tower segment is really interesting and really cool in theory as a speedrun. Trying to optimize this is a really interesting challenge. The problem is, it's super inconsistent sometimes. Like, I shot that block about 3 times and it didn't break. Cool. Well, we got through it. That was fine. There she is. I'll get you, faker. See, that was a reference to Sonic that's coming up later. Wait, what?
No.
Wait, what? What? Oh my god, one of them was a fake! Wow! Alright, anyways. This is Protomagicalgirl's true form. So yeah. We're gonna beat her up with a bird. This is an interesting pattern. Yeah, okay. We only saw one of the two attacks, that's fine. Okay, stand on exactly that pixel. I think it's a little hard to tell on this TV. No, we were one off, that's fine. Okay, so this is where we save those 18 seconds by using the Japanese version that I mentioned earlier. Oh my god, it's Dr. Wily! Wow. Plot, can you believe this, Scott? Scott shook his head no. He's not on camera, so I have to narrate for him. All right, now it's time for the Wily Castle. Wily Castle stages are fun. They're hard. It'll be all right. Cool. The sound of the eyebrows. Like, just to be clear, that's not the sound of the spaceship. That's the sound of the eyebrows. Wily's Castle in Mega Man 5 is trans. That's a fact. Fight me on it. Don't at me. Cool. So we're into Wily 1 now, and to greet us right away, they give us, I can't jump apparently, an E-Tank and an M-Tank. Yay! Wouldn't be a Mega Man game without spike falls. They're really easy in this game though. There's like 2 of them and both of them are easy. Once again, Charge Shot owns. Coming up, we have another tough arrow. I have to fire it within a pretty precise vertical window, and the input for it isn't super intuitive. I get 2 shots at it. Shots, because it's a buster weapon. 2 shots at it before I start losing time. Anyways, we got it first try, so we just slide right through that corridor. And since we got it first try, we got to use an extra arrow there, which is pretty neat. Cool. That screen is really hard if you mess up the arrow and have to do backup strats, so... No Power Stone. We're done with Power Stone for this run. There will be no more Power Stone. Well, this Crusher room is not going optimally. That's okay. One of these days, I'm gonna get crushed by getting knocked back into that one. One of these days, it'll happen eventually. Wow, I cut that kind of close. Okay, here comes the most important jump in the game. That was the chicken jump. Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! God, finally some people who appreciate true skill in speedrunning. That's not exactly how that was supposed to go, but hey, it works. Alright, so this boss is Big Pets. It's called Big Pets because it's big and has pets. We're basically just gonna keep putting these platforms out. We wanna hit it with 2 crystal eyes on every cycle. The pet spawns are random, so they can totally get in your way and make you only get 1 hit in a cycle. That's okay, because to finish the boss, you need to do a 1-hit cycle. So if you get a 1-hit dang it, pets. If you get a 1-hit once, it's fine. That was pretty good. And coming up next, Wily 2. I keep using the phrase coming up next. I gotta stop that. This is not like, what's happening next episode? So Wily 2, we're gonna have a big long underwater section. Remember what I said about water earlier, how you can't jump out of slides in it? Yeah, this stage is basically Mega Man 6 in a nutshell. But that's okay, I'm good at Mega Man 6. I'm better at Mega Man 6 than I am at this game. That jump is kind of scary. Grab another M-Tank. And so we can't jump out of slides here. Anytime we want to do so, we have to cancel the slide or let the slide run its full course. So we're gonna be careful here, not slide as often as we otherwise would. Just gonna walk across that, it's safer. Ah, I always miss that one. It's that met that always gets me. Anyways, that was a really good underwater room. I say underwater room as if the next 2 rooms aren't at least partially underwater, but the first one is really where the challenge is, so. Wily Castle music in this game is just fantastic. Cool, now we're gonna use that M-Tank. We don't need that M-Tank refill until later, really, But if we use it now, it's gonna fill less because other things are more full. Switch to gyro arrow. Boss behind this gate is the one, the only, the worst boss in Mega Man, Circring Q9. This boss flies around in a set pattern, but when the doors on the sides open is random. So we just hope for the best. This is not the best. Wasn't the worst either. We'll take it. It was good. And we're through that stage. That stage is scary. All right, so next up is Wily 3 is the refights. I don't want to do the refights.
Don't.
Don't?
Don't do them.
All right, Scott says I shouldn't do the refights, so I guess I'm just not going to do the refights. I guess we'll just call the run.
Do like one of them.
Do like one of them?
Yeah,
All right,
do
all right.
one refight.
I'll do one of them, and then I guess we'll like
Just call it.
see how I'm feeling, maybe call the run. I don't like refights.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Cool. Do one refight. I choose Napalm Man.
Sounds good.
Napalm Man is probably my favorite fight in this game. It's just very dynamic and also very scripted. I know those two words kinda don't make sense together, but like, it's fast, but it's predictable, I guess is a better way of saying it. Okay, you know, honestly, I'm kinda done. I don't feel like doing more refights. Let's just screw around with the super arrow. Didn't feel like doing refights. Alright, so that was refight skip. We just clipped through a wall using some super arrows. That's really all there is to it. So this is the Wily Press. The Wily Press can shake around 3, 5, or 7 times every time. We're just kind of at his mercy. And we're just gonna hit him with Star Crash. All that's really worth noting in this boss fight, at least the way I do it, there are more advanced strats to do it a little bit faster. I totally lost my train of thought. You want to be careful when you jump up to hit Wily. You want to make sure the screen has stopped moving, otherwise you'll get a really, really short jump, which is bad. Because hitting Wily is hard. The, like, whole bottom tile of the press isn't actually a damageable hitbox. Okay, cool. Oh no, Wily escaped! We have to chase him or something.
Darn.
Alright, so final stage of the game here. Time coming up reasonably soon. We're about to pass my PB in like 7 seconds. So hey, this run went pretty well.
Yeah,
Only major mistake was that death in Dark 3, so I will absolutely take this. Compared to the runs I was doing in practice yesterday, oh boy, this is good. So we're gonna take some damage boosts here. Fastest and easiest way to get through this. We have a bunch of E-tanks, so no worries at all. So I like the Wily machine in this game. It has two forms, the machine and the capsule. The machine is weak to super arrow, you know, that like one weird special weapon that you got, and the capsule is weak to beat. So you never actually use any like normal special weapons in this fight. That was the wrong direction. The timing on these arrows is weird because they have that little startup animation, and because Wily moves around. All right, rest of this run is up to beat. And by up to beat, I mean definitely not up to beat. We're gonna be moving and not moving in specific spots at specific times to try and help Beat do as much damage as possible per cycle. We want Beat to be getting 2.5 cycles every time. That's damaging Wily twice and then tracking Wily to his next form. So that was a 2 cycle. As long as we're not getting 1 cycles, I'm not complaining. Time is on last hit. So whenever Wily's health bar hits 0, and it's numpad 0, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Cool. So we haven't gotten any 1 cycles, so I'm not complaining. Cool. Getting the 2.5s on those high Wily's spawns are difficult. And here comes the last hit. Beat, 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 time! Woo! Great! That went so much better than all of the practice I did.
Hell yeah.
I'm very happy.
That's like
38.
how it usually goes.
Yeah! 3856. Very, very good. Okay. Well, now we've saved Dr. Light because I guess that was the plot of this game or something. Cool.
Right.
That was Mega Man 5, the 5th Mega Man game. I think I've said that exact phrase like 4 times now. What's up next? Something good?
Crash Bandicoot 2.
Crash Bandicoot. Something good.
It's not that.
No, it's not?
I thought it was.
Wait,
Is it Shaq Fu? Sorry.
Oh, okay. Next up is Shaq Fu. Shaq Fu. Oh, yes. All right, cool. I am Protomagicalgirl. Thanks so much for watching Tora-Thon, whether you're online or all of you wonderful people here in the room. Stay tuned for more awesome stuff right here at RIT's Tora-Con.